If someone's gonna bring up that some people have clips of reaction times way faster than this, I'm not gonna react to you. I'm not gonna respond. You are literally not listening, which is just unfortunate. I wish people would just listen. Everyone can have a clip where they react super fast. Those are called pre-fires. What matters is looking at someone's whole gameplay. I couldn't find a single instance in all these people's gameplay, Strahfe, myself, aceu, all great players, where we had a reaction time of 50 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds, let alone 3 times in a row in the span of a short gameplay. If someone is already doing less than 140 milliseconds multiple times in the span of a short gameplay, cheating. It's that simple. How fast is the reaction time of a COD professional mouse and keyboard player? Valorant. My calculations will be off by roughly 1 to 15 milliseconds. Meaning, sometimes they could be 15 milliseconds slower, or sometimes they could be 15 milliseconds faster. Overall, you will get a super good idea of what reaction time they roughly have. There's 2 types of reaction times. Number 1 is visual reaction time. So something appearing on your screen and just clicking. Number 2 is reactivity, which is your ability to react to tracking movement. If someone is moving to the left and you're tracking them and they move to the right, how long does it take you to react to that movement and start tracking it again? Obviously, within CSGO and Valorant, you're mainly going to be seeing visual reaction time. There is tracking in there, but not as much. And in COD and Apex, you're going to see more reactivity. Important things to know is that I'm not going to go over clips. Someone can get a clip of 0 millisecond reactivity because they simply predict it. The way you look at someone's reaction time is look at their full gameplay and see how they generally react to things. Sometimes they're gonna react super quick. Is that because they're actually quick? No. They just got lucky. They pre-fired. These pre-fires are extremely rare in a full gameplay. Now, you can use this video to, in the future, determine if someone is cheating yourself. So first, I'm gonna show you guys human benchmark. And I'm gonna already tell you guys, this is not a good benchmark to test how fast you actually react to stuff happening in a video game. I will explain that later. But first, I'm gonna do 3 total runs of the test, speed it up, and you guys will see what I get. First one, 140 milliseconds. Let's try again. Crap, I misclicked. 142, let's try again. 141, so around 140 milliseconds. Sometimes you will misclick. If you misclick like over 1 time in a run, in my opinion, it just shows you're pre-clicking too much. So for me, it's around 140. The reason I did 3 tests in a row is so that I can't accidentally pre-click. If you notice that your reaction time goes from 140 to 160 the second run, it shows that you very likely got a pre-click in there. A reaction time on that test lower than 120 is very likely a pre-click, but doesn't have to be. Some people are that fast. If you consistently get 120 every time, sure, it's not a pre-click. So why does that test not matter that much? Because in a real life scenario, you don't have your whole screen turn from red to green. That is an extremely obvious stimulus for your brain to react to. Without further ado, let's start reacting to the reaction time of mouse and keyboard player Strahfe. So we're going to react to him first. And I'm going to use ranked because that is especially when you can check visual reaction time, because he's going to generally hold angles more compared to Warzone. In Warzone, you're just moving and moving, which it's too difficult for me to find a situation there. So ranked MW3, here we go. Here's the first frame where you see something white poking out. Okay, so here we go. 1, 22. So we put in 22 frames right here. The frame rate of the video is 60 FPS. That's a reaction time of 366 milliseconds. Understanding that it's extremely difficult for his brain to process the first few frames, I'm still going to do this with every single person to give a rough idea. Strahfe, 366 milliseconds, first one that we found. Here's what it looks like in real life, by the way. In a real scenario, you see pretty fast. So here's where the fire happens. I'm not gonna exactly count it here. As soon as I see the black, which is now I see black popping up, I'm gonna count from here. Here we go. Here he starts moving his mouse, so 21 frames. 350 milliseconds. Here's what the real-time scenario looks like. There you go. Still from the same round here, I was still able to catch another reaction time scenario. Here's the real-time scenario. As soon as something pops up, look at the foot coming in right here. 1, 2. At the 17th frame, he starts moving his mouth, as you can see. 266 milliseconds. Now, so far, you guys are probably going to be like, whoa, this is pretty slow, right? Yeah, it's because I'm calculating the reaction time as soon as one little thing pops up on screen. but I'm going to be consistent and do this with everyone, and therefore we'll get a good rough idea of what the values look like for good players, okay? Here's another instance. Look at the corridor right here. As soon as the black pops up, that's an enemy coming in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. At 18, he starts aiming, as you can see. 18. Here, he knows. 300 milliseconds. Here's another instance. Look at the door. Foot comes in, first frame. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. 16, he starts moving his aim, you see? Now he's going. 250 milliseconds. That's a good reaction time, again. For the way I'm calculating it, it's a fast reaction time. So for the last reaction time stuff, I'm going to show him being ADS'd, fully ready with an AR. Let's see how fast he is now. First frame, you see the black. 15, he starts moving his aim, as you can see. 250 milliseconds. I've calculated a lot of instances for Strahfe now, so I want to do the last one where something really bright red pops up. And let's see one more time the reaction time. Here. 18. He starts moving at 18. 300 milliseconds. So, do you guys see the range that it can be in? I'm confident Strahfe, depending on the scenario, can get even lower. I might not have found it this time, but you can already see a rough range of what is normal, right? This is my whole point. If you're playing a game, it's very variable. A lot of stuff can be happening, and that's why I don't like human benchmark as a test. But I've gotten so much data, I think we're good for now with Strahfe. So if Strahfe does watch this video, you could also test it yourself for the lols one day, like just pre-aim stuff, wait for them to come in. I'm sure you can get like 170, 160 at times. You would have to test it yourself. However, generally, I'm confident you will get 200 plus MS even when pre-aiming fully focused. It's normal, man. The way we are calculating it, it's normal. So people who have been watching me are probably also curious about my reaction time, because I often brag that I'm a good player, which I am. I mean, there's literally nothing wrong with admitting that you're a good player, but people seem to hate when I have confidence in myself. We'll be solo queuing to Iridescent this year, but you're gonna see I'm nothing special either when it comes to reaction time. Here we go. I went somewhere in a live stream where I'm like holding an angle to use it as an example. I'll do a few examples. We're gonna see how fast I am. I should be pretty much the same as Strahfe overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here I start moving it, as you can see. 13. So that's 216 milliseconds. The reason I'm choosing a live stream is because that's gonna make sure that I'm talking to chat just like Strahfe. It's not exactly the same because I don't have people blaring in my ear, and this is why I think I'm gonna already be faster in certain instances. Just like with Strahfe, I used a couple clips from the same gameplay. I will use the same gameplay. So 1, you see the barrel on the left, right? I don't know if I saw that, but let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. At 16, I move my aim right here. As you can see, already very similar to Strahfe, 266 milliseconds. So right there, I was proud of my reaction time. Let's see if it was actually extremely fast, shall we? So purple indicator shows up here. I don't know if I'm supposed to count this because he's not even showing up on the screen yet, but let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now he's actually on the screen. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 16, I start moving up, as you see. 266 milliseconds. So just to show you guys, I'm not cherry picking anything. After this, I fall down right here. We're gonna see how fast my reaction time is right here. So as soon as the foot comes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19, 19, guys. As you can see, it's literally very similar to Strahfe, even though on the visual reaction time, I was getting super fast numbers, right? Let's see. Another kill happens here, probably. I have to play. Yeah, another kill right after. As you guys can see, I'm not cherry picking anything. We're just being honest. 1 here, something pops up already. I can see it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, here I already start moving my aim at 11. So that is pretty fast. As I said earlier, I think Strahfe can also do it. It just depends. Yeah, it just depends on how focused you are at the moment. Right here, I'm holding an angle and something pops up and I react to it. So let's see. You guys see this next to the statue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like, I'm reacting to that. See, that is his body, apparently. I reacted to that. Again, 183 MS. So as soon as something pops up here, I'm gonna start counting. You see that little purple there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. At 19, I shoot, he's already gone. 316 MS. So this one is very good because something bright red shows up on my screen. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 333 milliseconds. So as you guys can see, it really... Are you guys noticing a trend between me and Strahfe? There's just a range that is very normal to be within. Generally, you're gonna be 250 milliseconds plus with the way that I am currently calculating it. So next, we're gonna move over to aceu, extremely well respected in Apex, and he has been playing Black Ops 6. 24, 24 he shoots. 400 milliseconds. Keep in mind he was moving himself, but I'm just calculating it in this way so that you guys really get a real understanding of what a legit player looks like. So I found a good clip here because he's ADS, he's fully locked in. Let's see this one. Foot pops in here. 1, 2, 18 he starts moving his aim. 300 milliseconds. So right here he's gonna move his aim, but it's not because he knows he's there. As you see, he doesn't know. He's just pre-aiming. Here we go. 1. Here you can see something slightly. 19, 20. 20th frame he shoots. 333 milliseconds. So guys, I'm gonna stop it here. No one is like super special. Wow, this guy's way faster than the other people. No, we all have our good fast moments and we have our slow moments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 250 milliseconds. I could have done CDL pros too, which I have done in the past. People like Dashi, they have a 400 millisecond reaction time at times, and other times a reaction time of 200 milliseconds, usually like 300 plus though. I understand I'm being extremely harsh on the way I calculate the reaction times, but I don't care. The point is to show a comparison between the people with the same methodology, to show what that range roughly looks like with really good players. We will now do Valorant. So I'm going to use ScreaM for the Valorant example because he is a popular person. I think a lot of people know him. I'm going to assume they're going to have a faster reaction time in Valorant because there is way better visibility. Also, the character models strafe sideways. I was already calculating as soon as a barrel would show up in the COD gameplays, right? So the reaction time is going to be faster here, not because they are faster than COD players, but because it is way easier to react fast when it's an obvious character model moving sideways. First frame, ScreaM can see him from here. 16th frame, 266 milliseconds. Are you guys already noticing what's gonna happen? Here we go. 14 he shoots. 236 milliseconds. Next up, let's do one where he has to move his mouse. His foot is showing up right now, the enemy's foot. 14, 15, 16, 17. At 16, basically. This is just to get a rough idea of the reaction time, guys. As you can see, it's looking very similar. Here we go, guys. 13, 14. 14 he shoots. Let's use one where he has to move his aim himself, which I also calculated in Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 6, right? So 1, 19, 20. 20 he moves his aim. So guys, you guys understand the trend. I'm done. I've been recording for 1 hour and 16 minutes. I hope that was interesting for you guys. I wanted to do reactivity in this video, but this took way longer than I thought it would. So we would have to do a separate video on reactivity sometime. I'm very sorry. Reactivity being your ability to react to motion happening as you're tracking someone, right? Please use the knowledge you gain in this video to determine if someone cheats in the future, if they have super low reaction time multiple times in a row in a single gameplay. No, it's not a thing. See you guys in the next video.